Got a nice little breeze just scooting along here, very moderate pace. I've put in at a ramp here just right by the highway, which isn't particularly pleasant. This is otherwise kind of an interesting little spot. Heck yeah, I'm gonna have to jibe here, but I'm making a little bit of speed. Wasn't expecting even to have this much breeze, so I'm quite pleased. Seems like there might be a little bit of current that's actually going in the opposite direction of the wind. So what's happened as a result, I've run aground. But that's alright, because I just so happen to have run aground at my destination, more or less. The only annoyance about this place is the mud is really, really soft. It's a primeval slime, sludge. Well, I was planning to get up on Bird Island, do a little bit of exploring, but it was just way too muddy for my taste. There was nowhere to get out of the boat without sinking knee deep into this really nasty, sticky mud. So that'll be another day. So I've just been kind of floating here out next to Bird Island, and I've seen some pretty interesting things. I saw a John boat coming through. Motor just trimmed horribly to the point that it was just hopping. I thought it must have been going over a huge wake, but then it never got through it, and as it got closer I could tell the water was perfectly flat and this John boat was just hopping. It looked completely ridiculous. I don't see how the guy didn't realize something was not correct about that. Seeing these barges get around the island, it's kind of a little slalom turn right there that they have to get around, and one of them even had to throw it in reverse, and I saw them, they actually started backing up to make the turn because they were so long. That kind of made me nervous for a second because I was drifting kind of close to it, and then all of a sudden it was backing up towards me. Some guys were just passing by in a fishing boat, and they wanted to know, "You good, man?" Yeah, just fine, thank you. I don't know what they thought was wrong. I had just the mizzen up. I was getting ready to raise the mainsail. I guess maybe they thought I was broke down for some reason. I don't know. People don't really know what to think about this boat. Alright, let's take a little peek in the woods, see what may be found. I'm seeing quite a few beech trees, which is nice, because they don't grow just everywhere, at least not around here, only in certain areas it seems. I find a lot of beech trees where people have carved their initials into them, because they have a nice smooth bark for carving. Going up and over the hill. Spiderwebs aren't too bad. We've been getting some cool nights. Might be about hiking time once the spiderwebs go away. That's the one thing I can't stand. Late summer, spiderwebs in the beard. Got an old barbed wire fence. Old barbed wire. That means we're on some kind of a former pasture. Most likely cows. Cresting the top of the hill, got a couple of big white oaks. Some hickory. Spiderweb. Starting to come down the other side, and we can add maple to the list. Very twisted maple. Kind of a skinny one. Coming down the hill, and I just scared a coyote out of its den, and he was getting after it. Running downhill, full speed. Okay, there should be something down here, kind of interesting, over in this gully. It was here some years ago, and I want you guys to see it, if it's still here. For sale by owner. Fiberglass tri-hull, about 15 foot, as is. $500. Or make me an offer. Was it discarded and set adrift? Was it sunk on purpose for some kind of fishing structure? Was it in a storm and actually wrecked and sank? Or maybe it broke away from its mooring at a dock and drifted until it struck something, filled up with water, sank, then washed up here. But yeah, I think she's still got potential, so anybody needs a project, just hit me up. You got my number. You can occasionally find some pretty useful stuff in these little gullies where trash washes up, particularly crankbaits. You can find a lot of crankbaits. That's probably the most valuable thing you'll find. But you know, buckets, milk crates. Sometimes I'll keep those if they're nice. Find some nice pieces of driftwood. Actually, could find some nice dimensional lumber even sometimes. You just gotta watch out for rusty nails and snakes. Get a lot of tires and rims. If you had a way to collect all these steel rims and get the tires off of them and get them back, you could make some scrap money off of that right there. On the one hand, it's kind of disappointing that this big pile of trash ends up here, and you get a lot of places like this on the river and the lake. But for some reason, I just have a fascination with walking through here and looking at all this stuff. And sometimes you do find a few treasures every now and then. I've found multiple Yeti ramblers, Yeti koozie. My best find though was obviously the kayak. Still have it to this day. Good boat. I actually had a dream once that I found a canoe in one of these places, and then I did end up finding that kayak.